I'm streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is sunny Saturday, November 8th, 2025. The time, as you see, just changed from 11:43 to 11:44. So I am live. And it's Back to the Future. Why do I say that? Well, I want to talk about VO2 max. And why is this important? How much oxygen your body can use is one of the best predictors of long-term health. This figure shows how cardiorespiratory fitness, VO2 max, the body's ability to use oxygen during exercise predicts health, longevity, and physical capacity across life. VO2 max reflects how efficiently the lungs, heart, blood, and muscles work together to deliver and use oxygen. So, when we see this, what does it make you think about? So there's a nice chart here. You can see part A here, on the top left of the screen. Then you have B, VO2, and then there's C. So, and there's some description. So panel A, VO2 max. Levels across populations, elite endurance athletes reach 70 to 90 milliliters per kilogram per minute, while sedentary adults average below 45. Values under 17.5 mark the aerobic frailty threshold, and below 10.5 approach the mortality threshold, where daily function and survival are compromised. So let's have a look at that chart again. So elite athletes, 70 to 90 are the highest measured values. Elite athletes are in the above 70 milliliters per minute per kilogram. And then you see training after 2 to 3 months, 20% after 1 year. Sedentary individuals are around the 40 milliliters per minute per kilogram. And then you have aerobic fertility threshold. You start getting into the hospital and such. So does staying active help with maintaining VO2 max? Yeah, I would think so, because it is triggering your body to be reactive, meaning do something and fix something. And when you do that, then you're triggering additional processes inside the body to try to accomplish that task of maintaining longevity. So, training can raise your VO2 max by 10 to 20% while aging lowers it about 7 to 10% per decade. I kind of question the stats a little bit, because I don't think I fall somewhere in this category, and reason being is because when I experience heart rates that are so out of the norm, what's causing it? Is it the exercise? Well, it's helping it along, but I also think the choices in the replenishment and that I make, which I call foundational, are what is supporting longevity and this my VO2 max strength. Because I still think about what happened on October 21st, 2025, when I was live streaming, and I started doing longer sessions of skip rope, and it was a 9-minute warm-up. And the second day I think I did it, I thought, I was feeling good, so I'm gonna really push the intensity, and I did, and I hit a maximum heart rate of 213 beats per minute during that live stream. And I walked around as if nothing happened. Everything was normal. But most people say 213, I should have been flatlined right on the concrete here. And not be here to tell you the story so many days later. So, hence the shirt Back to the Future. Am I regaining some youthfulness? Are the choices that I'm making affecting that? I don't know. It seems like drinking deuterium-free water with a molecular bond angle of 114 degrees, does it influence or play a role with how I'm reversing my age from an anaerobic perspective or a VO2 max perspective? Because someone who's 49 years old shouldn't be experiencing that. That's an anomaly. But is it? So let's continue. Panel B. Fitness decline and mortality risk. VO2 max steadily declines with age, but staying in higher fitness percentiles dramatically reduce all-cause mortality. People in the exceptional fitness range have about 5 times lower risk of death compared to those in the lowest fitness group. Even being above average lowers mortality by over 40%. So let's have a look at that. This is B here now. So, cardiorespiratory fitness over the lifespan. This is the top graph. So you can see here the age, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so the VO2 max milliliter per minute per kilogram. So here we have, okay, men and women. So at the age of 50, I should have, according to this, which is the blue? Okay, yeah, blue is the top line. I should be around 40 milliliters per minute per kilogram. I should be around there. I wonder if I were to acquire some equipment to actually measure that and see what it actually is. If you are curious what it is, help me purchase that equipment. I'm thinking about doing a fundraiser for this because the equipment itself that I've looked at it, shared it, I think in one of a previous live stream, is like around 7,000 US dollars. It's a lot of money. And to invest in something like that, my goodness, I can't afford it right now. I can't. I can't afford it. So if there's people out there that want to see the demonstration, maybe prove to you that what I'm saying is actually legitimate, that applying what I call foundational, well, one being the water, and also the X39 is part of that foundational piece to help stem cells in the body rejuvenate and strengthen itself, supporting it with the hydrogen from the water that creates ATP in the body. Does that affect VO2 max results? I wonder. I really do. If I had the equipment to measure it and then prove it to you, what would you say? I think you would probably say, if the numbers were above 40 milliliters per minute per kilogram, if I was in the, let's say, 45, like above 45, or let's say even if I was somewhere in the realm of 80 or 85 at the age of 50, what would you say then? You would say, shit, man, he's doing things right. Because is it just a anomaly that I'm hitting so high heart rates but still able to maintain pace? I don't know. There's something up with it. Something is up. So panel C, the physiology behind VO2 max. Every system contributes to oxygen delivery and energy use. Lungs and respiratory muscles draw in oxygen. Of course, red blood cells carry it through the bloodstream. The heart pumps oxygenated blood to tissues. Vessels distribute oxygen efficiently. Muscles extract and convert it into ATP for movement. Well, there's something about it, because I'm able to do the fitness test, which requires a lot of coordination. You need to have the coordination to do the test. And I can do it unbroken at a really, really strong intensity. Last week I proved it. And I'll talk more about that. So the bigger picture, VO2 max is one of the strongest predictors of overall health and lifespan, more powerful than blood pressure or cholesterol. Improving it through regular aerobic exercise strengthens every component of the oxygen delivery chain, protecting against disease and functional decline with age. So, is there maybe reasons why I am experiencing such high heart rates? Well, I don't think it's a anomaly, especially when you watch the October 21st and then October 22nd, 2025, and then watch October 23rd. 3 days in a row. 2 days I hit over 200. The third day I was really close. So is it just coincidence, or is it actually I'm pushing my body, pushing to do something, trying to. I'm not afraid to push the intensity. Never have been. Whether it's cardiovascularly, aerobic, or even lifting weights. Yesterday for Feel It Friday, I did the Feel It Friday workout with the tempo of the metronome, and the cards were calling the order. And I did it faster than the week prior. So is my conditioning or strength endurance catching up now with my cardiovascular and aerobic strength and endurance? Yeah, I would think so. Because anytime you're doing some sort of fitness activity, if you're expecting, progress, well then you have to have something that you measure against. You got to measure it. You got to track it. So by doing these live streams, I'm showing you that I'm tracking. And today we're going to do, or I'm going to do, another fitness / stress test. Which last week in episode 106, I scored 250 skips in 73 seconds at a pace of 206 beats per minute. And during that attempt, when I watched the replay, the last 10-15 seconds was getting hard. Because you can hear it in my voice, where I'm like, oh, because I was pushing the pace. It's one thing to do a very fast pace for 30 seconds, but double it now. Can you sustain a fast pace that you start with to reach a goal? It's not easy. I'll be the first to tell you. So, last week I did it in 73 seconds times 60. So I set the metronome at a pace of 206. Okay? So this week, 250 skips divided by 72 times 60 seconds. I'm going to set the metronome at a pace of 209. Okay, that's the tempo that I got to do it. And I will set the timer to keep track of that. And I will keep a track of my heart rate, so we'll see where it goes. I have consumed the regular pinch of salt, as I do every morning. I did that this morning. And I think this is the second cup of water. And I don't have the blood pressure machine in this room here, so I forgot to bring it down, so I won't be measuring that today, but you can go back and watch previous episodes where I take my blood pressure before, during, and after several of the workouts that I did on different days, and you'll see that my blood pressure is normal. So I'm not going to revisit that today. So my heart rate, as you see there, I've already adjusted the timer for 72 seconds. There's the metronome. Okay. And here's the rope that I'll be using. And there's the one with the kink. So you can see, not cheating with a shorter rope. I do have a shorter one of this rope, which is a 8'6", which I think I may use in the future, just to show you that it does spin faster. Once I reach a plateau with this 9-foot rope. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of sure I can hear this. Oh, really? Okay. Try it one more time. Two, one. Holy, wow, this is hard. Oh, wow, the drop off. Oh, wow. I really struggled near the end there. And I was taking pretty strong deep breaths, making sure, giving my body the oxygen. Whew. I couldn't tell how many seconds there were left when I started to drop off as far as the tempo, because it was hard to keep up. Wow. I don't know if I did it, because it was faster. Setting the tempo at 209 to keep that pace for a good portion of that session, or the 72 seconds, was relatively comfortable. And then near the end, I could start to feel the fatigue creep up. And whew. So it'll be interesting to see when I watch the replay, because I'm going to count the number of skips to see if I actually made it. Because by doing it faster, I may have done it. Wow. Okay. So, for the 10-minute HIIT, I'm going to set the tempo at 165 again. So you see there, 165. And I'm going to use the beaded rope today. Whew. And try to mix it up with some crossovers or crossovers. And perhaps maybe some double unders. We'll see how I feel with cross unders as well. All right. When the screen goes green, that is when I will match the metronome pace. My goodness, sloppy today. That fitness test, the stress test, I find takes a bit out of me. So, that's my heart rate, my head bob. So, am I as real as a heart attack? Am I? I think so. And when the 20 seconds is up, that's when I'll look at my heart rate. Okay. All right, so today's recorded result, So November 8th, 2025, starting time was at 12:03 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I didn't even hit 163. Majority of heartbeat was in 141 to 162. So during the stress test didn't even hit 150. Heart rate just dropped right down. So here, what's interesting is you can see my heart rate peak, and then it adjusts, and it peaks again, then it adjusts, it peaks again, and then it adjusts, which it makes me think about, see here. This first drop, really, over here, that, where it kind of peaks and it levels out, and then here, this second one right there, where it peaks a little bit and then it drops and it peaks and it drops, and that's where I was talking about, where I was trying to take deep breaths during the fitness stress test. And then here it peaks again, and then it drops slightly, because I think it's like my body is adjusting now on the fly to the circulation that's required to keep the test going, to not trip, because of the coordination. My feet's moving, so it's calling for a lot of blood, and then my hands are moving, and my arms, you know, that it's calling for the blood circulation. And then near the end, when it starts to really peak here quickly, that's when I started to notice that build of lactic acid, if you want to call it lactate, in the body. I could start to not necessarily feel it strong, but it's I can feel it building slowly, and that's where I started trying to keep continuing on breathing as deep as I could, but fast, and only through my nose primarily, because if you breathe through your mouth, it's more like a haptic type of reaction, where I think you're trying to get adrenaline into the body to help with converting the oxygen into ATP. So it's is breathing through your mouth better or worse? Some people I've talked to in the past say breathing through your nose is better because it moisturizes the air as it comes into your lungs, making it maybe easier to absorb. I don't know, but perhaps if I were to invest in that equipment that I talked about, VO₂ Master, then that would maybe perhaps validate some of the questions that I have in my mind to find the peak levels of performance, especially during the fitness test. So it's interesting for me, and perhaps it would be interesting for you as a validator to say, for me to prove that this here, drinking the deuterium-free 114 degree molecular bond angle water has a significant influence on your blood circulation and your athletic performance. I think it shows already without even having to do the testing, but you know, some people say, oh, you're not 49. Yeah, I am 49. I'm as real as a heart attack. I've said it over and over and over and over again. And the people who know me can validate that. Perhaps I should even show you my birth certificate, you know, but that's not necessary because I'm telling you the truth. So then, observing my heart rate now in the 10-minute HIIT, see here, pretty steep incline. So during the 30-second and then 30 seconds of the high intensity pace, and then this here is the first or the second round of the intensity. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You see it climb and then drops or recover, climbs and then drops and it recovers. And then as I think oxygen levels start to really deplete from the water inside the body, then you can see here that my heart rate remains higher overall because now I'm calling for oxygen. So that means internal reserves are gone by way of the water. So if you were doing some kind of endurance competition, would drinking this water in intervals during that endurance competition assist you? I would think so. It's a natural advantage. And the only limitations then is your let's say if you're doing an endurance run, marathon of sorts, then the taller you are, the longer your legs are. If you can move them at the same pace as somebody that's beside you, but they're shorter, you'll have an advantage because you can move your legs the same pace they can, but you're moving farther, faster. So it would be hard for somebody to catch you. You know, it makes me think of Usain Bolt, the world record sprint or 100-meter sprint world record holder. That guy is tall. He's, I don't know, close to 7 feet tall. Would he have been drinking the water? Possibly. Could he have been using X39? I think so. I bet you he was. Yeah. Because if Michael Phelps was using it during his Olympic stint, hey, how many gold medals did he win? But he's also a tall guy. Long limbs. And if he was maximizing his cellular strength, stem cell strength, and maybe he was drinking the water too, I don't know. But if he was, he's set records that may be hard to beat, hard to catch for a long time. And that could be the difference. So if you're seeking athletic performance or just longevity and overall well-being, it's time for you to start taking a serious look at what I'm doing. I think I'm leading by example, and I'm not afraid to keep doing what I'm doing. So that's it for another episode of Sunny Saturday. I'm going to take a day off tomorrow and use that for being grateful that you're choosing to watch me, help you, motivate you, and to encourage you to be the best you can be in this world of deception. But I'm not here to deceive you. I wrote in a post earlier today, if you pay for something, you expect results. I'm one of those people. If I don't get results, I stop paying. But guess what? I'm still paying for it because I'm seeing results. And if you want to accelerate the results, consider the water. I'll send it to you. I'll ship it to you. I'm seriously toying the idea of making batches and shipping them in food saver bags and sealing it. So basically, all you have to do is cut a little triangle on the corner and pour it out. I would recommend putting the water in a glass jar of sorts, and then that way you can either drink it straight, or you can cascade the results, or cascade the water into a glass of water of your choice. So if you have reverse osmosis at home, then 20 drops of the deuterium-free 114 degree molecular bond angle water into a 16-ounce glass can increase its hydrogen properties. It's a real thing. Okay? So my asking price is what is reasonable for it. So that's it for today. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Catch me on Monday for Move It Monday, and I'll have another subject to talk about. I've already prepared it, so we'll see you then. Have a nice day and enjoy the rest of your weekend.